Good evening, everyone. And thank you for being here and being part of this dynamic community of Ignite Berlin. And it is on top of my impromptu speeches. I didn't know about it till 11 p.m. last night. So yes, be gentle on me. We're going to talk about the avant-garde of the culinary world. When I think about Ignite, I think about two things: ignite a fire and ignite a passion. And those are the two things that shape most of our lives, including our cuisine, our kitchens, our lives. So I want you to think about what constitutes innovation. I want you to think about traditions as a dynamic concept, and I want you to think about that. Why do we need a revolution and mostly an evolution in our food system? It's because we have 800 million people hungry, it's because we have a great rate of obesity, and it's because we use 15 plants only for 90% of our caloric intake. So do we need an avant-garde? Yes, we do. And these are some of the people that are on the lead of that movement. Carlo Petrini, the founder of Slow Foods, Ferran Adria, the guy who started El Bulli, Rene Redzepi, the best restaurant in the world, and a few others that I'll speak about individually. This is me and Carlo Petrini at an event called Slow Foods. Why slow foods? We're used to hear about globalization and fast movement and fast transformation, but there's also great opposition to uniformization. So slow foods is a rejection of that and a return to your traditions. This is an image from their event 2 years ago in Torino, Italy, where they had over 250,000 people in attendance, and they had people from over 100 countries. If you think of something as wide as North America, we know that Native American Indians consume about 3,000 plants. And if you ask today, people could name maybe 1, 2, 3 of those. These are completely unexplored chances. And then we think about lost traditions and ancient foods and superfoods. And where do we get all those? Well, we get it from interacting among us as cultures. This is quinoa, and it's one of those examples where a forgotten food came back to prominence. I promised I would talk about the food heroes leading this revolution. And you have here Ferran Adria. I don't know how many of you are familiar with him, but he started the molecular cuisine. He also influenced a lot of other people like Rene Redzepi, the #1 chef in the world who has a restaurant in Denmark. Strange place for food innovation, but he created a menu based on Scandinavian foods alone. And this is another person who might inspire you if you think about it. He's Jose Andres, and he's responsible for bringing tapas or small portions into the US. Now, if that's not revolutionary. He's also the guy leading food diplomacy, along with the State Department, in a program meant to bring people together and realize how important food is to all of us as a tool that transcends preconceptions and it transcends boundaries of all sorts. This here is Rob Baan, and he is the winner of the Dutch Innovation Prize for 3 years in sequence. He is the person who sells those wonderful ingredients to the chefs. Now, this is one of the things that we find most extraordinary in his collection. It's called oyster leaf, and it tastes exactly like an oyster. Imagine a plant that tastes like a meat, and think about how much we can expand our understanding of the food world. This is another hero, Farmer Lee Jones in Ohio. His activity is similar to Rob Baan's. He brings chefs together, and he tries to let every one of them experiment with their own niche. Here are 2 Native American chefs, Sherman being one of them. And he's becoming very, very popular for using some of those forgotten 3,000 plants that I was mentioning about. One of the images that was on the screen earlier looked like a mushroom, and it's called Feliz Masanori. It's a plant that tastes like pizza, thinking of taste sensations here. And this is Gerard Kraft. Innovation happens in unlikely places. That was in Missouri. This is a restaurant in Austria, in Vienna, and it's #9 in the world right now. One of the things that I was most impressed with is that they went back to the concept of food identity. And that's really important. Before serving you every dish, they would give you a little card with the name of the ingredients and which farm produced them. Now, we need to go back to that, and we need to rethink. So if all of this is really tradition and retracing old foods, is it really innovation? Well, yes, it is. Yes, we're not losing our traditions and we're not losing our history, but it is innovation in the sense that we are using modern communication and we're using those communities that we just heard about to expand our views on food. Thank you.